All right, friends. Okay, we're gonna get started. So let's find a comfortable seat on your mat, on the pillow, whatever space you want to sit in. And let's just start in Sukhasana, which is easy seat. One shin in front of the other, or if you prefer crisscross applesauce is just fine. And then take the flesh of your bottom and just kind of scooch it back. Sit up nice and tall. And gently close your eyes. Breathing in through your nose. Let it go through the mouth. Again, full breath in. And let it go. And we'll do one more full breath in through your nose. And out through your mouth. Try and let go of any stresses, any worries that you might have showed up with today. And then we'll gently seal the lips. Begin sending the breath in and out through your nose. Find just a gentle, just something like a gentle hug of the throat, just to create a little bit of warmth, a little bit of sound. As you continue the flow of the breath, begin to match the length of your inhales to the length of your exhales. If it's helpful for you to count as you breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and continue 3 more rounds. And then on your next round of breath, just find a subtle softness. So you're keeping the balance, but you're letting go of the numbers. And then either repeat silently to yourself or aloud these mantras. I am safe. I am loved. I am right where I need to be. I am safe. I am loved. I am safe. I am loved. I am right where I need to be. And take one more deep breath. And then either gather your palms together at your heart space, or if you want to place one hand over your heart and the other hand on top, you're welcome to do that as well. Let's come. Thank you. Somebody said that we got muted. All right. Can you guys hear me again? Yep. Perfect. Okay. So if you didn't hear what we were doing, we're side bending and then we're rotating down, and then you should be in a fold. Take one more breath in your forward fold. And then if you're sitting on something, go ahead and come to a Navasana boat. So you're welcome to stay with your toes on the ground, or you can lift your legs up, take your arms forward, and we'll have 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale. And again. And one more. And then sit back down and just gently cross your legs the other way. Okay. So once you find your comfortable seat, again, we'll start on the other side. Take an inhale, both arms reach up towards the sky, and then we're going to your left side this time. Left arm comes down, big side bend over, and then play with rolling yourself inward and opening yourself upwards. So you find that sweet spot, whether you're getting the QL on the lower side back or getting your obliques. And then take one more full breath. And then rotate yourself downward so you plant both hands out towards the front left corner of your mat, and then bow your head down. And stay there, take 2 more rounds. And then on your next round, gently walk your hands forward of your mat. So you're walking yourself out in front of you and then just folding any amount. And as you do, ground through your sit bones once again and really lengthen through the entire spine. We'll take 3 breaths here. Full breath in and full breath out. Again, inhale and exhale. And then once more, maybe you get just a little bit deeper. Walk your hands just a little bit further. And then gently walk your hands back up. And then again, we'll take one more round of Navasana boat. So you're seated just above your sit bones. You're not right on the very tip of the sit bones. Legs are together as much as possible, and then you can lean back. Toes are welcome to stay on the ground. Legs can lift up, or you might even choose to straighten your legs. Take a full breath in. Deep breath out. 2 more breaths. And one more. Nice job, yogis. Cross your ankles and then roll over your shins, and let's come to hands and knees. The palms come right underneath your shoulders and the knees come right underneath your hips. And then as you breathe in, let's take a cat-cow. Open up your chest, lift your gaze towards the ceiling, and then exhale to round your back and gaze down. If it would feel good to add some side bends or some hip circles to these shapes, please feel free to do so. And then let's come back to a space in the middle of those 2 shapes. So firm the belly enough to make your back into a neutral shape. And then we'll take the right arm straight out in front of you and take your left leg straight back behind you. And try to lift the leg only to hip height, because sometimes when we go higher than that, we make an arch around the back. So firm the belly, long through the fingers, and breathe in and out. And then bend the knee up. So you're bending the left leg, the foot is reaching towards the ceiling. You can option 1, come to a cactus with the right arm, or option 2, reach back and grab a hold of the inside arch of the foot. Press your foot towards the back of your mat and reach your right ribs forward. So you're trying to keep the back bend in your chest as much as possible. Let go of the foot and take the right arm forward, and then we'll release the hand down. So this left leg is going to open off towards the left side of you as much as you can. So, and then we're taking a thread the needle. The right arm will go underneath the left, and you'll drop your shoulder and your head towards the mat. Adjust this just a little bit. Just a little bit more to the ceiling, stretching right in between your shoulder blades. Ground the left hand if it isn't already there, and then unravel so you have 2 palms back onto your mat. And then gently step back, the left knee comes to meet your right. We'll do 2 more rounds of cat-cow before we do the other side. Breathe in, open up. And breathe out, round. Once more. Exhale. And then same thing for the other side. We'll take the left arm straight out in front of you, and then we'll extend your right leg straight back behind you. Lift the leg only as high as you can, still keep the belly firm. And then you want to activate the whole back of your. Push the ground away from you with your bottom arm. And take 1 more breath. And then bend your right knee up, flex your foot like you're standing on the ceiling. Option 1, come to a cactus shape with your arm. Option 2, reach back and capture the foot. Press your foot towards the back of the room as you reach the left ribs forward, and then lengthen through the spine. 1 more breath. Release the foot, extend the arm, then release the hand. Open your leg off towards the side of you and plant your foot down. And then from here, it's the left arm that reaches under the right this time, and you drop your shoulder and your head to the mat. Press the right hand into the mat as you lift your gaze and spin your chest open. And then gently unravel. Ground to the right hand and then replace the left hand, and then gently bring your right leg back to meet your left. 1 more round of cat-cows, breathing in and breathing out. Find a space in the middle of those 2 shapes, and then check out where your hands are. Make sure that they're either right under your shoulders or just gently wide of the shoulders. Sometimes that's more comfortable. And fan the fingers out nice and wide. Tuck your toes under, and we'll lift for our first downward facing dog. Let the feet be about 1 foot's length apart. Let all of your toes and your knees face forward. If you have most of your weight forward onto your palm, simply bend your knees a little bit and then shift your bottom back. Allow the head to relax, and you start to straighten your legs from there. While you're here, you can pedal your feet. 1 heel reaches down as you bend your opposite knee. Switch with your breath. And switch again. And once more. Take an inhale as you lift both heels high, and then reach both heels low. So try and reach the heels as close to the mat as you can without shifting your weight forward or without pulling on your back. Look forward to your hands and then gently walk or hop the feet forward to meet the hands. Let the feet go ahead and widen to about hip width and then hang over your legs. Interlace your forearms for a moment and dangle as you sway softly from side to side in a ragdoll. And we'll release the hands towards the mat. Bring the feet either all the way together or pretty close together. Soften in your knees and roll yourself all the way to stand. Take your arms all the way up overhead. And then gather your hands together at your heart space. We'll do 2 rounds of Surya Namaskar. Inhale, find Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale for Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, come up halfway, lengthen. And then exhale to Chaturanga. The hands come down, the feet go back, and then you lower softly to your belly. Inhale, as you pick up your chest, come to either a low cobra or a high cobra. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Lift your hips, press everything back. Stay here for 3 rounds of breath. And 2. And 1 more, 3. And then bottom of your 3rd, lift the heels, bend the knees. Hop or walk, your feet come forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. And then fold again, breathe out. Rise and stand, arms reach up. Gather at your heart, exhale. And again, inhale, lift, lengthen, grow tall. Exhale, fold back to your feet. Inhale, halfway lift, find length. And then exhale. Welcome to stop at halfway or come all the way to your belly. Inhale for either a little bit of a lift, a bigger lift, or biggest lift. And then exhale, lift your hips, press back, downward facing dog. And just like before, we'll take 3 full rounds of breath. Bottom of your 3rd, lift the heels and bend the knees. Hop or walk, feet come forward. Come up halfway, big breath in. Fold again, deep breath out. Rise and stand, big inhale. Your hands to your heart, deep exhale. So let me make a little adjustment here. So you're going to stay standing at the top of your mat, and you want to find Tadasana feet. So if you look down at your feet, let all 10 of your toes face forward. And some of us are more comfortable with the feet all the way together, and some are more comfortable with the feet just about hip width apart, which is about where your hip bones are. Okay. So from here, pick up your toes and fan them out really wide, and then plant your big toes down, reaching them slightly towards each other, and then your pinky toes out towards the width of your mat. And then you can put all the other toes down one at a time if possible and stay well grounded on the outer edges of your feet. So once you feel grounded in your legs, take an inhale as you reach both arms up towards the sky, and imagine grounding down at the same time lifting up. 1 breath here. And then while the hips and the pelvis are going to stay as they are, you're going to open twist to your right side. I'm going to go this way. So big rotation from your rib cage, but do try and keep your hips facing directly forward. And then keep the upper body as it is as you sit down into a chair pose and you end up in an open twisted chair. I'm going to turn this way. So as we rotate, sometimes the left hip and shin want to come forward. So you want to gently remind the thigh bone to stay back and then hug in your pelvis on both sides. Take a breath. And then sit just 1 inch deeper. Keep the legs. Return both arms to center for center chair pose. Utkatasana, 1 full breath. Keep the depth of your legs, just gently lift your heels up so you're on the tippy toes. Heels come down, press to stand, 2 arms reach up. And then hands come back to your heart. We'll do that again for the other side. So start by making sure that the feet are still well grounded. If you need to make any adjustments, go ahead and do so now. Inhale, stretch both arms up towards the ceiling, and then notice the hips facing forward. So notice how the tendency to shift is fairly easy. Keep the arms lifted, inhale, and then exhale, open twist to your left side this time. And notice how easy it is for the hips to go with it and try and isolate the rotation in your torso. Can you go just a little bit deeper into the twist without bringing your hip with you? And then stay with the arms in the upper body and simply sit down into a chair pose. Notice how the right hip and thigh want to come forward. You can gently encourage the hip and thigh to come back. Sit 1 inch lower into the hips. And then keep the legs as they are and just return both arms towards the ceiling. You're in center chair pose. Sit just 1 inch lower if you can. Stay as you are and just lift the heels up so you're on your tippy toes. 3, 2, and then 1. The heels come down. You press to straight and stand. Exhale, gather your hands to your heart. Inhale, 2 arms reach up towards the sky. And then exhale as you fold for Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway. And then exhale, Chaturanga, the hands come down, the feet step back, and you lower through. Any amount of lift in your chest. And then downward facing dog. Deep breath out. Keep your downward facing dog and just simply lift your right leg towards the sky. Let's bend the knee, open your hip, and do some wiggling of your toes, your ankles, maybe your knees. Square your hips off, and then bring your nose and your knee to touch. Come forward in a high plank, pause. Keep the body as it is and just send your leg back to a 1-legged plank. Again, knee to your nose. 1-legged plank. And then step your foot all the way through between your hands. Let the toes of your right foot stay facing forward. Bend the front knee quite a bit, and then let's rise for crescent lunge. So if you notice your back foot, sometimes the heel wants to sink back. Try and lift the heel so it stacks over the ball of the foot. Then take your right hip and draw it back so that the pelvis is nice and forward. Now sit down from lowering the thigh towards the mat, and then keep your base stable here. Inhale, the arms reach forward and up. Exhale to cactus the arms, bend the elbows and open your chest. Breathe in, lift from the top of your sternum. And then exhale, draw. Keep the arms out, or keep the shoulders as they are, and reach back, interlace your fingers behind you. Straighten your arms, open your chest. And then just lean forward. So we're not coming to humble warrior. We're just adding a lean and trying to continue opening up the chest and the shoulders. So still bending the front knee, sinking the hips down, lengthening through the spine. 1 breath. And then we'll lift the chest, keep the arms still where they are, swivel your back heel down, and we'll come to warrior 2 legs. I'm gonna switch sides this way. So you have warrior 2 legs, but you have the arms still back behind you. Pull this left shoulder back and encourage your right knee open. Press your left thigh bone back as well. And then at the same time, we're drawing the belly in and lengthening the tailbone down. 1 full breath. Keep the depth of the pose, and just release the arms and open for full warrior two. Let the arms stay about shoulder height. Firm the belly, deepen the breath. The base stays the same, and we just reverse the arms. Left hand comes to your back thigh, and then the right arm reaches up and over. Lengthen. Then we'll take a windmill to plant the hands on either side of the front foot and pause. Lift your back heel and spin all of the toes to face forward. And then we'll just simply shift the weight forward and lift into standing splits. The left leg comes up. Fold forward towards your standing leg. And then come up halfway just to find a little more length in the spine. Keep the hips nice and level, and then bend your left knee. So this might feel like enough. You're welcome to stay right here. Maybe the right hand comes to touch the right ankle. Or if you're going from more right hand to left foot, I like to grab the inner arch. Take the left knee towards the ceiling. One more round of breath. And gently release the hand from the foot. Left foot comes to meet the right foot at the top of your mat, and then come up halfway with a big breath in. Fold again with an exhale. Rise and stand, arms reach up. Gather your hands together, deep breath out. Again, for the other side. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale as you fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. And then exhale to flow. The hands come down, the feet go back, lower all the way to your belly or just to halfway. Inhale, little lift, big lift, or biggest lift. Exhale to downward facing dog. And then right away, inhale, lift your left leg towards the ceiling. Keep it straight and square for just a breath. And then do the opening that you love to do, whether it's wiggling your toes, your ankles, or drawing circles with your knees. Square your hips. Bring your knee and your nose to touch. Come forward in high plank. And then keep the shape of the body, but extend the leg back for one-legged plank. Exhale, knee comes back to your nose. Inhale, back to one-legged plank. Exhale, step your foot forward and through between your hands. So before you do anything else, check out where your toes are. You want your toes to be facing directly forward. Bend your front knee quite a bit, and then let's rise for crescent lunge. So again, take a moment to check out your back foot. Your back foot, let the heel lift so it stacks over the ball. And then bend the front knee, working towards parallel with the ground with your front thigh. Steer your hips in the direction of forward and add a little bit of a scoop so the belly is in. Take the arms forward and up, inhale. And then cactus your arms, exhale. One breath, lift from your sternum. Drop the shoulders. And then keep the chest open. Just reach back and interlace your fingers, your second favorite way. So you're crossing the weird thumb over, reinterlacing the hands, and then you straighten your arms and open your chest. Keep the depth of the legs the same. One more breath. Legs stay as they are and chest stays broad. Lean forward with a flat back. Keep the upper body as it is. Just lift the body and then swivel the heel down and adjust the legs for warrior two legs. So some people are more comfortable with heel to arch alignment. Others are more comfortable with heel to heel. So find what feels the best in your hips. Arms are still back behind you, and as you lower your right back, thigh open. Gaze over the left shoulder, one deep breath in. And deep breath out. Free the arms, expand them out, warrior two. And then reverse the arms. The right hand comes to the right thigh and the left arm reaches up towards the sky. Spin the chest open and deepen the legs. And then take a windmill. The hands come to frame the front foot. Lift your back heel up. Shift your weight forward and then lift the right leg towards the sky for a standing splits. Inhale, come up halfway. And then fold a little deeper with the breath. And then bend your right knee and either stay here or challenge your balance by bringing the left hand to the ankle, or even further, grab a hold of the inside arch of the foot. Lift your knee towards the ceiling. And then take your time, release the hand from the foot or release the hand to your mat. Step 2 feet together, big breath in, halfway up. And then fold, exhale. Rise and stand, inhale. And then gather your hands together, exhale. Inhale, stretch tall. And then exhale, fold forward. Come up halfway, breathe in. And then plant your palms and go to plank pose. And then adjust this just one more time. So from plank, just pause. Firm the belly. Press your thigh bones towards the ceiling. Bring your chest forward. And then lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. So we'll do a couple of chest openers. So we'll start with the shoulder openers. You can either be in cactus arms, or if you have the room, you can go to a full T shape with your arms. Rotate your body onto the right side, bend your left knee, and you can either place the foot behind you or in front of you. Relax your head down completely, and either this left arm can stay down or you can reach it back behind you. Take your time, roll back onto your tummy, and then simply switch sides. Open your left arm towards the side, and then rotate yourself towards the left side, lifting the right side of your body open, and then stretch back. You're welcome to place the right foot either on the inside or behind the leg. One more breath. And then gently roll back onto your belly. And then take your arms back behind you. Interlace the fingers again behind your back. And let's do the second favorite way first. So you have a natural way that you cross your hands. Go ahead and cross the weird thumb over and re-interlace the fingers. So staying on your back, on your belly for just a moment, bend your elbows up and then close the gap between your palms. Squeeze your elbows towards one another. And that might be enough for you. If you're going for a little bit more, you start to straighten your arms. And then if that's feeling good from there, then you can start to lift the upper body. And if your lower back feels great, lift your legs as well. Lower softly back down and go ahead and take a moment to look over to the right side. Place your left ear on your mat and let your arms rest by your sides. Take a big breath in through your nose. Through your mouth, let it go. And then we'll do the other side. So reach back. It's easier this time since it's your normal way. Reach Do the same thing though. So start by closing the gap between your palms. Bring your elbows towards one another. And if that feels okay, then you start to straighten your arms. You're welcome to stop anywhere in between. And then if that's going well, you lift your upper body. Still going well, you lift your legs. And with each breath in, you lift just one little bit higher. And softly lower yourself all the way down. Look over to your left side. Place your right ear on your mat. And then take a nice breath in through your nose. Through your mouth, release. Seal your lips. And then place your palms right underneath your chest. Press back into a child's pose. Walk your hands forward. And then it might feel nice to walk both hands over towards the front right corner of your mat. Press down through your left side body to get the lower back a little bit more. And other side, walk both hands over to the front left corner. Press your right hip down and get the right side lower back. Walk the hands forward and then gently walk your hands in to have a seat on your shins. We're going to do a camel. We'll do 3 rounds. So we'll start with the first one together. So you'll start with the knees directly underneath your hips, and then the feet are as well as wide as your hips are on your knees. Take your hands onto your pelvis and then gently give it a scoop under. So the tailbone points straight down and the belly hugs all the way in. The hands can come to the lower back to start with, and then you lift your gaze towards the ceiling. Start with just the gaze lifting towards the ceiling and broaden through your chest. And then as you start to get a little bit more open, you can walk your gaze a little further back and take this into an easy camel. The hands can stay on your lower back, or they can release to your thighs just below your bottom. Or if you're feeling open and ready, tuck your toes and bring your heels and your hands together. Remember lifting from your sternum and then doing that same scoop of the tail so the belly stays on. Firm the belly a lot to rise all the way up, and then have a seat over your heels. Bring your hands together at your heart space and just turn everything inward. We'll do 2 more rounds of camel with an option to release one arm at a time. So if you're working with the camel that we just did and you'd like to stay, feel free to do that one again. If you're going for something a little bit more, we'll start with the toes tucked under. Start the same way, drawing the tailbone under, firming the belly in, lifting your gaze up. Go ahead and go to what you feel like is your depth in this pose, whether it's the hands on the thighs or hands on the heels. And then release just your right hand and bring it to your heart. And then imagine pressing your heart into your hand and bringing the left ribs forward as the right side of your lower back lengthens. Take one full inhale, press heart into hand. And then take your time to draw your belly in, come all the way up, 2 hands over the heart, have a seat back down, and again, go within. And then again, either stick with the regular one or do the second side. You're also welcome to do a baby cobra, which means you'll sit over your shins and then just come to open back. Then you can even do cactus arm shape. So being aware to honor what your body is feeling at this moment. Take a breath in, lift your gaze, open your chest, and then exhale, deepen into the pose. Hands stay on your lower back, move to the thighs or come all the way to your heels. If and when you're ready, the left hand comes to your heart, and as it does, you push heart into hands. Bring the right ribs forward and lengthen your left lower side back. From the belly, rise all the way back up and place right hand on top of your left. Have feet back down over your heels. Everything turns inward. Remembering our mantra from the beginning. I am safe. I am loved. I am right where I need to be. And then you can either stay in this kneeling position, or you can have a seat and come to Sukhasana, or do Ardha Matsyendrasana with the legs crossed over. This for me feels comfortable. I have my right shin in front, so you would have your left. Take a nice breath in as you sit up tall, and then we're turning towards your right side. The hand can rest on your front shin, and the other hand can come behind your back. Or if you do not have a baby in your belly, you can cross the arm across your body and then do a little bit more of a push. Sit up just a little bit taller. And then rotate just another couple of inches if possible from the ribs. One more time. And then unravel, come all the way back to center. If you have unilateral legs, go ahead and just switch the legs. And then again, sit up nice and tall. Rotate towards your left. And then either bring the hand to the shin or bringing it across your body. Find length with your breath in, and then rotate as you gaze back. Inhale a little taller, a little longer. And then exhale a little deeper. One more round of breath. And then unravel, come all the way back to center. Uncross your legs, and then let's come to Baddha Konasana or butterfly easy seat. We'll bring the feet together and let your knees open wide. So if this does not feel comfortable, you can grab whatever you might have nearby you and stick them underneath your knees. And you can bring your feet as close to you or as far away from you as you prefer. Inhale as you lengthen upwards. So we want to keep a straight spine as much as possible, and then add any amount of lean forward. So it might be a little, it might be a lot. Two more rounds of breath. Rise back up to a seat, and then let's widen the legs. So go as wide as you're comfortable going. And then let's focus on keeping the knees and the toes facing the ceiling. So you'll have to do a little bit of grounding inward as you fold. Hands go by your sides to start with, and then press your chest up. Find length. Lean forward or think about leaning forward. Either stay as you are or walk the hands out in front of you, coming down to your forearms if that's available, or laying all the way down if that's available. And it might feel more comfortable just to stay upright. And again, focus on the grounding of your outer thighs so that you can keep the knees neutral, the toes neutral. And one more breath working on the neutral of the legs. And then allow them to just relax. So the legs will automatically want to turn inward, and that's okay, let that happen. And then just fold and find some comfort. And then let's take your time to gently walk yourself up to a comfortable seat. Grab a hold of the legs and bend the knees. Bring them all the way together, and then we're going to prepare to lay on our backs. So get to a place where you can have some space behind you, and then you'll lay yourself all the way down. Make sure that you guys can see me. And then we'll bring the knees into the chest. Grab a hold of the shins and just give them a nice squeeze and bring them all the way together. So legs are all the way together and they're deeply into your body to where you find a little bit of compression in your midsection. Of course, if there's a baby in your belly, it looks a little bit different. And then we'll release the legs from the chest. Take your right ankle over your left knee, flex the foot, and then thread the needle. So you're welcome to just keep the left foot on the ground if that's more comfortable for you. You can bring the legs in towards you and grab either behind your thigh or in the front of your shin. If your elbow happens to touch your thigh, you can gently push to get a little deeper stretch in the outer thigh and outer hip. Either stay here for 2 more breaths, or if you'd like something a little bit deeper, you'll take your right knee all the way up and over your left knee. Keep the legs in towards you and flex both feet. And then I like to grab underneath my ankles. You're welcome to grab on top. Just make sure that you don't sickle the feet. So as you work the ankles towards your shoulders, remind your hips to stay grounded, and what you're looking for is sensation right here in your outer hip and thigh. And one more round of breath. And then take your time to release. Uncross the legs and bring them back in towards you. Give them a nice squeeze. And then we'll switch sides. We'll take the left ankle on top of your right. Open the knee to the side. And then bring the legs in towards you, either grabbing behind your thigh or the front of your shin, or keeping the foot on your mat. Legs come in towards you, and if your elbow happens to touch your thigh, give it a little push. 3 rounds of breath. And then either take 3 more rounds of breath here, or move to our Supta Gomukha, knee over knee, both above or below the ankles, where it's most comfortable. Just be sure not to grab the foot and sickle it. As the feet are opening wide, you draw the sit bones down towards your mat. Gently release the hands from your legs, uncross the legs, bring them back into your chest and give them a squeeze. Plant your feet down, either right in line with your sit bones or slightly forward, and have them be about hip width apart. We'll take 2 rounds of bridge pose. Take your shoulders and tuck them underneath you. Plant your feet well into your mat, and then press your feet down to lift your hips. If it feels good to reach back and do the hands interlaced again, you can do that. And really focus on opening the tops of your hips and the tops of your thighs. Release your hands if they're interlaced and gently lower your hips all the way back down. Widen your feet to mat width apart and then sway your legs from side to side. So we'll do 1 more bridge. Of course, if wheel is something that you know and love, go ahead and go in that direction at this point. If you're going for bridge, just stick with me. Press your feet into the mat and lift your hips. Again, tuck your shoulders underneath you, and if you did the interlacing of the hands, try the opposite way. So again, you're crossing the weird thumb over, re-interlacing the palms, and then pressing the upper arms down. One more full breath. Release the hands, lower the hips all the way back to your mat. Widen your feet again to mat width and do that swaying of the legs. And then once they get over to your right side, just let them stay there. We'll take an open twist. You can stay with this or take the right foot on top of your left knee and gently push down. The left arm lifts towards the sky and you gaze towards your right side. Release the arm back to center, gaze back to neutral, and then uncross the legs. Bring the legs back to center and switch. The legs fall over to your left. Left foot comes on top of right thigh. Gently push down. And then the right arm will reach up and you'll gaze to your left side. Return your gaze to neutral, return your arms to center, and then slide the foot off the thigh to bring your legs to center. And then bring the knees together to touch. The feet are still wide to about mat width apart, but the knees are touching. And then reach your arms up towards the ceiling, cross one arm over the other and give yourself just a gentle hug. Inhale the arms back towards the ceiling, switch the cross of your arms, and again, gentle hug. Inhale the arms, reach back towards the ceiling, and then exhale, return the palms to your mat. Once more, bring your knees into your chest and give them a squeeze. Open the legs for a happy baby pose. The knees go as wide as you're comfortable. The feet lift up towards the ceiling and you grab a hold of them. You can hold the feet or behind your thighs or wherever it's comfortable. Take a breath in. And then encourage the knees towards your mat as the feet lift towards the sky. Do a little bit of swaying from side to side. And then we'll release the hands from the legs, bring them back in towards your chest one more time. And then set yourself up for your favorite Shavasana. So you can either have the legs extended and straight if you have props that you want to prop yourself up with, or if you prefer to take a seated meditation, that's welcome as well. So go ahead and take a moment to get yourself into the most comfortable spot. And once you've found that comfortable spot for you, gently, softly close your eyes. And again, find the balance of the breath, letting the breath flow in for 1, 2, 3, 4, letting it flow out for 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then just keep the pace, keep the balance of the breath. I'm going to let go of the numbers. Just balanced, easy breathing. Repeat silently or aloud to yourself. I am safe. I am loved. I am right where I need to be. I am safe. I am loved. I am right where I need to be. As many times as you like. And then keep just the feelings that those words give you, but let go of the words themselves. And then allow yourself to let go of everything else. Relaxing the body, relaxing the breath, and finding a few moments of peace. I invite you to stay as long as you possibly can in this still, peaceful space. I want to thank you all so much for joining me, for sharing your beautiful energy, which I can still feel, for sharing your beautiful practice, and for continuing to support the local yoga community. I have just so much gratitude this morning. Namaste.